There are, of course, as you heard from Jonathan's report, increasing concerns about the level of violence in recent political protests. Tonight, Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen looks at the rise of one particular movement and what it means for free speech and safe speech.
Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
When white nationalist Richard Spencer, credited with having coined the term alt-right, was sucker punched by a masked anti-fascist activist on Inauguration Day in Washington, a writer at The Nation magazine marveled at the kinetic beauty of the assault. 6 months earlier, anti-fascist activists, known by the collective name Antifa, had confronted white supremacists at an event outside the California state capitol. 10 stabbings were reported. Antifa also claimed a role in the unrest at Berkeley when far-right commentator Milo Yiannopoulos was disinvited from speaking there. But their most memorable turn on the national stage to date was last week's deadly confrontation in Charlottesville, Virginia.
They use violence, and just because they're opposed to fascism and to some of these monuments shouldn't make them heroes of the liberals. I'm a liberal, and I think it's the obligation of liberals to speak out against the hard left radicals.
Since 9/11, and excluding the Pulse nightclub attack that killed 49 people last year, committed by Omar Mateen, an American supporter of Islamic Jihad, the majority of fatalities in America caused by extremist violence have been attributable to far-right hate groups like the Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists. Yet those tracking such incidents note with alarm the rise in violence by Antifa and other far-left groups who aim not merely to counter the alt-right, but to deny its members the rights of free speech and assembly.
We are seeing white nationalists being much more prominent in their public demonstrations, and it's now spilled over the fire lines across the ideological spectrum.
The original anti-fascist protesters were those who confronted the Third Reich in Germany, as well as fascist governments taking hold in Italy and Spain.
And the tactics are a little bit different, but they're rooted in that idea of coming up to near-violent or very aggressive right-wing groups and confronting them in the streets using tactics similar to what they use.
There are no hard figures, really can be no hard figures as to how many people count themselves members of Antifa. Using Twitter, Facebook, and selected phone numbers, we tried to contact a handful of individuals believed to be linked to the movement, but our queries were not returned. Brett.
James, thank you.